Welcome to the Morning Ramble, the remote edition because we're quarantined. I'm Matt.
I'm Eric, and I'm sad my beard isn't as impressive as Ben Roethlisberger. Did you see the picture or video of him over the
No?
weekend? Ben Roethlisberger shared a video pretty much saying everyone to stay home, and he just has this massive beard, and everyone's like, it looks like he's been in quarantine for 5 years.
You know what? We do have other news. We've got
Oh,
NFL news.
oh, that's right, we do have NFL news. Let's do that first because
All right. First off, the big news out of the NFL.
Mhm.
Tom Brady is no longer with the Patriots. What's up with that?
It's so big that even Matt knew it happened.
I know, right? Matt, non-sport ball man,
Hmm?
knew that Tom Brady was no longer with the Patriots. He's with Florida.
There's 3 teams in Florida, Matt. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He signed a 2-year contract, I think, for about $30 million a year.
Good
Um,
for him.
yeah. So they're going to be. They instantly went into playoff contestants. That was the biggest move in the NFL. It's going to be a super weird season to not see him as a Patriot,
It's
and
gonna
I'm
be
very.
super weird. Half
And
the
I'm
players are gonna be dead. It's gonna be crazy.
yeah. And I'm curious to see who's the starter in New England, and then also how New England does without Brady. I think they'll be just fine. Belichick knows what he's doing. Um, that was the biggest move that I can think of. There was a bunch of other
You
ones like
wait. You think the Patriots are gonna be just fine without Brady?
yeah, I do. I think they're going to be. I don't know. I wouldn't give them an automatic guarantee to win.
Nicole is over there and she's shaking her head.
All right, well, we could talk about this. Listen, Bill Belichick had one of the best defenses we've seen in a long time this past season. Brady was just kind of hanging around. Okay, they had one of the best pass defenses. They're going to keep most of their defenses, their defensive players, and on offense, they're not. No one's really moving other than Brady. So if they can get someone in there to just kind of not make mistakes, I
Nick
don't. I don't
Foles.
think they're not going to need a playmaker like Brady. I'll be curious to see if they actually try to get someone. Maybe there's a lot of quarterbacks out there right now. Andy Dalton, Derek Carr, Cam Newton. I don't think Belichick's going to go for any of those guys. I think they'll probably either stick with their backup. I forget his name right now, or maybe go for someone in the draft. Who knows? But
It's just one of those things that's very weird and I know barely anything about it.
listen, we've seen people play at quarterback in New England when Brady was injured. A perfect example would be Matt Castle. Matt Castle was Brady's backup. Brady went down and was out, I think, for 12 games. Castle started. He did amazing. He got this big contract in Kansas City, and there's a reason why you don't know who I'm talking about, Matt, because he completely sucked. And he hasn't started. I think he played in Kansas City, and then I think he went to one other team, and he is not even playing. So,
I had to switch hands because this is my drink hand.
oh, well, see, I got mine on a laundry basket.
I've been like I haven't been off of work, but we're considering going off of work.
Yeah,
But I haven't been off of work. Nicole's been off of work,
yeah.
and it has been a very strange time. So I guess we'll go to our main topic of the day, which is obviously coronavirus.
It's really
Um,
weird. I got some headlines here, but speaking of work, it's funny because Andrea now is going to be off work for a little while, minimum about a week and a half, but it could be more depending on what happens this coming week. Me, it's been the opposite. My second job has not been affected at all because it's a pharmacy, and then my first job, I've been offered overtime, so I'm working overtime from home.
yeah, I've been minimally affected, but the issue is right now that I go into people's houses and
People
like
don't.
when it comes to breakdowns, like if somebody doesn't have hot water or something, all of
Yeah,
a sudden like they don't care who comes in. They don't care if the person has like all of the viruses.
yeah.
But when it comes to maintenances and stuff, obviously people don't really want me in their house.
Yeah. Well, I think we're supposed to get some snow here this week, possibly. Not a lot, but you know. that affects your job, right? It
I
was
mean,
70
a little bit.
now.
It's more temperature that affects my job in general.
Um, but yeah, it's been crazy. There's so much to talk about. It's like you don't even know where to start. But the biggest news I just wanted to point out was, did you see that Italy reported in the last 24 hours? I think it was 793 more deaths in one day.
Yes. Uh-huh.
That is insane. Um, and I think it probably has something to do with, from what I was reading, obviously Italy is a little bit of an older population, but also it has to do with just they don't have the capacity. Um,
Right.
they don't have the room, they don't have the beds, they don't have the respirators, all that stuff, which is the fear here in America, which is why we're
Yeah,
doing.
I mean, it's the fear for like, a good majority of the people in America, but then there's the certain amount of people who are just completely freaking ignoring it and saying, "Oh yeah, it'll blow over in no time." And these are the same people that will be spreading it around. For example, we had a thing on Friday afternoon, I believe,
Mhm.
that a Turkey Hill employee in Lancaster, sorry, Nicole, um,
You did it.
had had the coronavirus, and he was in contact with roughly 400 people estimated.
Wow.
So, I mean, anything like that hits any area, all of a sudden, a lot of people get it. And you could see that with the exponential growth of cases in America right now. We went from in on January 1st to like a couple of states being affected to all 50 states now have confirmed cases.
Yeah, and the thing is though, this is, I think the one thing, there's a happy middle ground here, and I think the one thing is that this is not going to be contained. That's a fact. Like, we're going to see cases grow in every state. It's just a matter of when May comes around at the end of April, when we start getting to that peak, how big is it going to hit, and
Exactly.
and that's why we're doing this. So we're definitely going to be in this for another week. I'm interested to see what the states do with schooling. Right now, kids are out for another week. Will they push that another 2 weeks, another week? I don't know. I've even heard talks of people saying kids should just not go back to school for the rest of the year. I don't know how they would do that as far as, learning and grades and, state, what I'm talking about, state lines and all that. Um, I mean, as far as working goes, it's not like everyone can just not work for a very long, extended period amount of time. Just we can't go that long. People can't go that long without income. So I'm curious to see how long this lasts. And yeah, so I think to me, schooling and the large events like concerts and stuff, that's going to have the biggest impact in a good way towards that. Was it flattening the curve or whatever? Everyone keeps saying that now. That's the only thing I'm hearing. Flattening the curve.
I mean, that's just the facts. It's like eh, the the thing that I don't get is the people who are not taking it seriously in general.
Mm-hmm.
Like I get the people who aren't freaking out.
Yeah,
That's probably a good thing.
I don't
The
think
people
anyone should be freaking out.
the people who aren't panicking are a thing. But then there's like, people who have anxiety disorders and stuff.
Well, yeah.
Obviously, they're gonna freak out in general.
I think there's a difference
Um,
between someone having anxiety and someone buying all the toilet paper a store has. Like,
yeah, if somebody buys all the toilet paper a store has, they're just an asshole, and that's just the end of it.
yep, yep.
Because, I mean, honestly, if anything, this little snafu with supply and demand that we've had has made me use less toilet paper. I've set up a garden hose directly from the tub, and now I've got it as a makeshift bidet.
No,
It's very high pressure, Eric. You should try
yeah,
it.
I'm good. I'm good.
It's a pocket hose, so it folds right up.
Hey, when if I can't right now, I got like 2 packs of toilet paper, but if they go out, I'll be going in the tub after every bathroom visit.
Well, it's like I went to Walmart earlier on today. It's Saturday, everybody. You guys know we pre-record these
You
a day
know,
earlier generally.
you know how we do. This isn't Sunday
Um,
morning.
Yeah, but it's Saturday. I went to the store earlier today. I went to Walmart,
Yeah,
and the toilet paper is still completely wiped out. A
yeah.
couple days ago, the bread was completely wiped out. Most stores have restocked on bread. Most stores have partially restocked on eggs. Hot dogs are still sold out, which is kind of weird.
Certain
Um,
area, it's hit or miss with each store.
yeah.
Bread seems to be the big one, and obviously toilet paper. You're not; those are
You
the
know
two
what?
hardest
I've
things.
got a little rant here. I've got a little rant here.
Go ahead.
All right. When I used to go in the store, I use flushable wipes generally.
Yeah,
I don't generally use toilet paper. I generally use flushable wipes. I went to the store today. I went to the section I normally get the flushable wipes, and they were sold out of them. All of a sudden, everybody's real concerned about how clean their buttholes are. They weren't concerned before, but now they're concerned. You're not getting coronavirus through your butthole.
I
Get
I
it
just
together, people.
I love the videos. People are just like, sir, you have coronavirus. That's impossible. I have so much toilet paper. Do you need to see it? Like, um, I have the
And there were
live. Yeah,
there were
go ahead.
stories about people going out and buying a bunch of toilet paper just to flip it at a profit.
Well, we talked about that guy with all the hand sanitizer and stuff. And
Yep,
see, and
yep,
he donated it, but um, yeah, he what a jerk.
yeah. That guy was just a jerk, and
And if you watch the video, he apologized, and then the reporter asked him, they're just like, do you feel sorry for what you did, or like, would you go back? Would you not do it? And he's just like, no, like, so he didn't care. He doesn't care about anyone.
yeah, of course he doesn't care. He only cares that he got caught.
Yeah. Just because I have it up here, I'll show it. So this is the live numbers. Oh, it's gonna be backwards in the camera of coronavirus cases.
No,
And
it's not backwards.
oh no, not for you. Okay, cool. So that's the live numbers of coronavirus cases. New York, I think, with the most, with over 8,000,
Wow,
which
New
is
York exploded in the last couple of days.
it did. It's pretty crazy. I mean, Pennsylvania, where we're at, it's about 311. I think we have two deaths. There was
Yes,
one from a 55-year-old man up in Scranton, and I think I heard that his family members also have it, and they're in critical condition. I
and
don't, I didn't, I wasn't able to read if there was like pre-existing conditions or anything. And then I think I heard that there was another death, but I don't know the age or who they were. Um,
right.
so yeah, and then California only has a little over 1,200, which I find pretty crazy. And then Seattle, we're in Washington, about 1,500. Texas, 400. Florida, 500. So, and then obviously throughout the Midwest, it's pretty low. Um,
Well, I mean, those guys live like 2 miles away from each other. They don't see human interaction. They only deal with sheep, and sheep can't contract coronavirus.
that's right. Oh, so I want to point something out. So near where I live, there is a Chinese restaurant. China Fun, right?
Yes.
And they've been closed completely. And I found that interesting because, like, they do takeout. Why wouldn't they just do takeout? And I wonder if it's because they have low business because of the ignorance and stupidity
I
of the people.
actually do have a story relating directly to this
Okay, because like the my
because in our
yeah,
town, I live in Bloomsburg. In
yeah.
our town, we have two Chinese restaurants. We have Chinatown and China City. We don't care about China City because screw them,
Okay,
they're not very good. But
okay,
Chinatown actually closed down yesterday because the delivery man who came out, they're all family members. He was getting harassed about coronavirus in very racist and fucked up ways, and it was just ridiculous. And basically, the owners were just like, "I'm not going to let
what are you gonna
my
do?
family
Like,
be treated this way
yeah,
because people are being stupid about this."
yeah.
Like
Like it's like,
somebody literally stopped the delivery man before he dropped their food off that they ordered
mm-hmm.
and already paid for at their house and said, "Have you been to China recently?" And these are Americans. These are people who haven't been to China in
You don't
15
have to
years.
explain that.
It's
I
ridiculous.
yeah, that's awful. But and that's why my thought process was is like, are people maybe not getting Chinese food because of the mental
Yeah,
connections of
it's
China?
a stupid mental connection that people are
No,
doing.
it doesn't make any sense. Like it makes absolutely no sense at all. It makes as much sense as not eating spaghetti because Italy is also bad with the virus. Like that, none of the food that they have is from China. Okay,
I don't
the
know if
fact
that was racist or not.
I don't know either, and I don't because I'm defending them, so it doesn't matter. But the fact the fact that people would even compare the two is it's so idiotic because any person with a brain would know that none of the food is coming. Do I even have to say it? Do I even have to say the sentence?
Yeah, no, you don't even need to finish the sentence. It's absolutely asinine.
It's China food. Chinese food all comes from China. All of it.
Yeah,
Every ingredient.
every
Every,
Chinese restaurant ships it in directly from China.
yep. Yep.
It's so stupid. Also, to everybody who's watching for like the first time on our remote podcast, sorry if the audio quality and the video quality is a little less. We're doing what we can.
We don't want to give each other corona.
Yeah, Eric has two children at his house, and I have one child who's at the house quite a bit. So we really don't want to mess around.
Yeah. So, but real quick on this topic. So Tom Wolfe in Pennsylvania and along, I think Illinois and a bunch of other states released something similar that all non-essential businesses should be shut down, and they released a list. And I guess it was supposed to happen on Thursday, and then I saw from my state rep, she shared it's getting pushed to 8 a.m. on Monday. But
it is getting pushed to 8 a.m. Yeah.
Did you read the list, or did
I
you?
did. I did.
It is the silliest. It's the dumbest list.
It's incredibly and stupidly vague. And there's also typos in the list.
That's not surprising. They're in a hurry. But the one thing that everyone keeps pointing out is that beer distributors are on that list, and I think maybe
sustaining.
What?
They're life sustaining.
Listen, in times of trouble, you know.
Listen, man, I've been drinking all day.
Andrew actually sent me down to the grocery store, Beer Town, and I was grabbing some Mike's Hard Lemonade for her, and then she wanted chocolate cake. I don't know why.
There's alcohol in this mug.
Mine's coffee. But I was getting that stuff.
I haven't been drinking all day, because I have.
The people around me were buying like eggs, bread, milk, and I'm sitting over here buying like Mike's and like chocolate cake.
Hey man, Mike's Hard Lemonade and chocolate cake, they're life sustaining.
Yeah. That list. So I obviously I saw that all the wine and spirit stores are closed.
That sucks.
Yeah, and then obviously gas stations, grocery stores, and pharmacies will stay open. I saw someone start talking about how pharmacies might close. I told them absolutely that's not going to happen. People need medication.
No, pharmacies aren't going to close in a medical emergency.
No,
that would be stupid.
I mean, maybe they would try to limit to maybe only do drive-through pharmacies, but just from my knowledge of our area, there's not too many drive-through pharmacies around. Plus, not everyone drives, depending on where you're getting your medicine. But it's going to be interesting. I'm curious to see on how soon they start saying things are going to be either extended or maybe going back to normal. I have no idea, and I have a feeling that no one has any idea.
That's pretty much the idea that I'm getting from everyone. Like, we're going to just play it by ear for the next few weeks.
Yeah.
See how it goes. From the early indications that we're getting is that it's spreading like wildfire, and that is concerning, obviously. So some things are going to be the thing that I can't stand is people who keep sharing things like, oh, this person doesn't have the authority to do this person doesn't have the authority to do this. It's like, so you just want to keep all these certain businesses open at all times with no restrictions. Like even at my business, which is an oil delivery business,
Mhm.
which is something that people need, we did have certain restrictions. The one restriction we had is we're closing the front office. We're not letting anybody in the front office to pay in person,
Mhm.
which is a restriction that makes sense.
Sure.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it makes sense. So we're having people drop off their stuff or send it in via mail.
Yeah.
We're not having somebody coming in coughing on the counter.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm torn on this. It's something that I'm kind of like, I don't know. I've said my opinion so many times when I was talking to Andrea, and she disagrees with me, and that's okay. Everyone could disagree with me. I'm not so far to the point where I think, I've saw people saying, making fun of Tom Wolfe and saying impeach this guy because he can't do this. I think that's another argument. I think the question is like, should we have the government shut down some of these businesses and restrict certain ones? And I don't know. I guess my point of view is that, I think that the schools, large events, those are important and people should be staying home. But is really like a couple people walking around, and I'm trying to think of an example, but I don't even know what store would be considered non-essential that is closing down. Um,
Dick's Sporting Goods.
okay, if you shop at Dick's Sporting Goods, really is those two people walking around Dick's causing much more damage than the bunch of people waiting in line to get into Sam's Club, or the people that are touching the gas pump every 2 seconds, or the people that are, in small like grocery stores and stuff. I'm I don't know. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Like, like how far is it really that big of an impact? Those smaller things, like those smaller stores or those smaller restrictions. I think that we've pretty
I
much
think
restricted.
that it's more of a thing where it's like I work for a small business. I know you don't. You work for two very large corporations.
Yes.
I work for a small business. We
Hmm.
have one person, one human being who knows how to run the business. Essentially, if he gets sick, we're all screwed. So
Yeah.
this is the argument with small businesses, and it seems like no one's looking at it from this side. Everyone's looking at it from, oh, they're going to go down for being closed for 2 months. Yeah, but if the guy gets sick, who the only one who knows how to run the business gets
Yeah.
sick, then everyone who works for him, all 16 employees or so, are screwed.
Well, we already know that there's going to be some relief for small businesses. There might even be relief for people. I know that there's that $1 trillion thing that Trump is and the House is trying to pass, and I guess they were even talking about getting all members of Congress like in one room might be a problem or something like that, because I think
Yeah,
two.
get them all on one Skype call like we're doing.
Yeah, but so there's probably going to be some relief. No, not probably. There's going to be some relief for small businesses, and families under a certain income. I'm sure you saw the 1.5 trillion dollar thing. Um, did you look at the specifics or no?
Mhm.
Did you look at the specifics of that bill, like for families?
I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I was looking at one of my cats. This is the issue with
Oh,
doing this from home.
you get distracted easily.
They're cute. I'd show you them, but Nicole's also laying over there, so I don't want to. I
Oh,
don't want to show her and her all of her under the pizza blanket glory.
okay. um,
Love you.
but the bill I think is like under 70. If a adult makes under 75,000 a year, you get like 1,000 or something like that. And if your household makes under 200,000, you get relief for each dependent or something like that. Um, I have no idea if that's going to go through as is, but it'll be interesting to see.
Well, it all depends. Is it going to have extra junk tacked onto it?
It seems like both sides wants to do that. Because I saw that they were trying to put it through, and I I forget everyone kept trying to add to it. And I hate when they do that. Like, why can't you just pass one thing? Like, it's so annoying.
Yeah,
Um,
that's something that you and I are perfectly see eye to eye on.
I
One
honestly, I
bill
think
at
the
a
majority
time.
of the country sees eye to eye on it. It's just something that happens in Congress, and it's I don't even know. I guess it's hard to restrict, or like how would you even restrict that? Because you'd have to also pass legislation. Here's
Yeah, and
legislation
and then they
limiting.
try to tack stuff onto that.
Yeah, no, only one thing at a time, one motion at a time, and it's like okay, but let's also add.
Yeah,
Um,
let's put the abortion bill on that one. Let's see how that goes.
yeah, but it's crazy.
Also, sorry if I keep changing angles and stuff. I'm actually holding my phone, and
Yeah,
Eric has his placed on a table, so
like a professional. Um,
like a professional, true, but like I don't know, like 5% of his screen is taken up by table right now, so
yeah.
is it really
Oh, I didn't even
professional?
notice that. The black. I didn't even
Yep.
notice. Well, whatever. Uh, my face takes up the other half. One more thing I wanted to bring up, and then if you have anything else, we could talk about it. But I saw that this week China has released pretty much saying that they have had no new cases of the coronavirus. What do you think of that?
Good. I don't know. Am I supposed to trust what China says? Am I
That's
supposed to
what
trust what anyone says?
that's what I'm pointing out because I just I don't believe it. Like it's hard to believe. Like, did they really get a handle on it that fast? And how did they do it? I guess you could say. How did they
Communism?
communism?
I
I
don't know. When the government has more power, the fact of the matter is they could take control of these kind of things faster. I'm not
oh,
saying that it's better.
no, and I'm glad you brought that. That was a perfect example of what happened in South Korea. They got a handle on it pretty fast, and everyone was just like, "Oh, look at them! Look what they did!" But if you actually look at what they did, it was they were providing like private information to the public, and I don't know the specifics, and I'll have to look it up afterwards. But it just wouldn't fly over here. You know, people would be outraged immediately.
Of course, people would be outraged. We've got all of our freedoms, like staying in our house.
You can go outside. Go outside.
I can't go outside. People were working on my roof from like 7, 10 a.m. this morning. They blocked both of my doors.
Go out tomorrow.
Fine,
Um,
I'll go out tomorrow, but I won't be happy about it.
all right. Do you have anything else?
In other news,
Oh, great.
on what was it? Friday,
Hmm.
March 20th, Doom Eternal and Animal Crossing both released.
What games? Animal Crossing?
And Doom Eternal.
I don't even know what that one is.
You
I
know
don't.
what Doom is?
Oh, wait, Doom. Oh, Doom. Okay.
Yeah,
I,
Doom Eternal. It's the
I didn't
newest
even know they
Doom
were making
game.
another. I didn't even know they were making another Doom.
Yeah, Animal Crossing and Doom Eternal released on the same day. That's hilarious. And right now I'm downloading Animal Crossing.
Well, they're pretty.
So,
They're like the same type of game. So
yeah, the memes were great on that. Yeah, the memes were great because it's like has the Doom Slayer, the
yeah,
main character of Doom, with like Isabel, this cute, adorable dog, on his shoulder,
yeah.
killing demons, and it's amazing.
Uh,
I highly recommend that if anyone needs a laugh or needs like, just like a slight upturned mouth smile in these
yeah.
times of turmoil, look it up.
Yep.
Look it up. It's great. And I will let you guys know how Animal Crossing is on the next episode of the Morning Ramble, which I'm
Corn
not going to be playing it very much. Nicole's going to be playing it, but I'll probably be watching her.
like streaming. No.
I mean, Nicole streamed herself painting, and people have been streaming a lot on
Yeah.
Facebook and stuff just to keep each other entertained, and people are tuning in way more than they ever have
It's.
because we're all home and we're all bored.
Hey, there's a lot to do on your phone.
There is a lot to do on your phone, but you can only look at certain things So many times.
True.
I was implying pornography, but then I realized that this isn't like a PG show. It's PG-13, so we can only say fuck once.
You said it 3 times.
Did I say it 3 times?
I think so.
Oh crap! This episode is rated R. I'm sorry, everybody. Cadence is probably listening right outside the door.
Yeah, well, I was actually gonna sit out in the living room, but then I realized I'd have to like fight off Lily and Cadence, and then also I wasn't sure how many times if you're gonna make this PG-13 or rated R. So
I almost always make it rated R, Eric.
yeah,
And occasionally you get fired up about stuff and you curse too. So
I'm a solid PG kind of guy. So
anyway, this has been 2 bald guys with beards.
that's the pod. That's a good name. We'll have like a
It's basically what we are now.
bald with beard, BWB podcast.
Eric's wearing glasses.
Yep.
Yeah, 2 balds with beards and glasses. That'd be bad.
Yeah.
We could both play guitar. Eric can play it way better than me.
Yeah, that's not true.
All
right.
Anyway, thank you all for joining us on the Morning Ramble. We will see you next week, come hide nor hair, unless one of us dies from coronavirus.
In that case, we'll still do this from a hospital bed.
Or I'll go to the gravesite where Eric's dead.
That's right.
Because I'm assuming that Eric doesn't survive through this because he never goes to see doctors.
Quick note on that. I found out last weekend that my great-great-grandfather actually died from the Spanish flu back in 1918, and he was 28 years old. And I'm 28. So
that is creepy.
I should be on the lookout.
Yeah, I would be.
I might not make it.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
It was a funny death joke. Goodbye.
Signing off. All right. See you later, Eric.
Yeah.